Is there a story behind the name Moonshifter?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a good story. I like this one.
Yeah.
So I always sort of tell it the same way. Andy, who's the bassist, was and myself. We were both in metal bands to begin with, and when we started Moonshifter, we wanted to sort of lose. We're sick of being so serious and singing about death and everything. We just wanted to rock and have a good time. That was the initial sort of inspiration, anyway. And when we came up with some sort of catchy rockin' tunes, someone said something about we wanted to put people in a good mood, and then Locke said
we had a variety of different songs too. Like we started out with like some really dark songs and some really light ones, like a really broad spectrum. Like really depressing one, and then just really upbeat, happy, poppy one that we don't play either of.
Locke wrote the depressing one. I wrote the happy one.
It was collaborative.
And so we were trying to come up with a name, and due to the fact of trying to write songs that put people in good moods, the name came up, Mood Shifter.
That was Lachlan's idea, and I misheard it.
Yeah, and we misheard it, and I said Moonshifter. Is that what you said, Moonshifter? And the guys were like, "Oh, that's even better."
Yeah,
it's like real, we started thinking how deep and meaningful it was.
yeah,
And so it just stuck from there.
Okay. It kind of gives the implication you can move planets and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We got all real deep and philosophical about it. That's
I
for
feel
sure.
like there's more and more connection to that as we go. I like to feel that way. It's more intense spiritual, maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just fun.
Yeah.
It says on your webpage that now that the time of the ego-driven, cocaine-fueled rock gods is over, hard rock has come back to the people. Do you think bands had more substance before they became successful?
Oof, I'll leave that one to Locke.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, I mean, obviously Led Zeppelin was just incredible, and when they got huge and famous, they still made great albums and great songs. So it's not necessarily the case, but it just seems to be the trend of the industry. Now the record labels have, they don't have their grip on genre, and they don't have their grip on, what people should be listening to. It's the marketing hype and the marketing machine has crumbled, and they don't know how do we do this now. So to us, like what we play is, as most bands would say, we love what we do. We love to play this style of music. We love the songs that we create. And how do we get that to the people? Just the same way that any other band started out did. But in the end, it's not about the hype machine and that hype kind of marketing that the world used to have. It's more guerrilla marketing. It's more online. It's more let's reach the people who really love what we do and just speak to them.
So music these days has kind of gotten rid of all the distractions and all the bullshit, and it's just down to the basic, get the good songs out to the people.
I think so. Yeah. The people who really love it, and and good for everyone else. Whatever other people enjoy, go for it. But there are going to be some diehard Moonshifter fans out there, and we just want to give them the experience that they're looking for.
Okay. Can all the extra work that goes into you having to use social media and networking and getting your band out there, can that be distracting from making music?
No, I don't think so. We're pretty organised, like in that we have band meetings to talk about those sort of things, and I think we make a pretty clear distinction between the two. Like, I guess a lot of the marketing and social media and all that sort of happens in a way. It happens behind the scenes, even for us, because we'll sort of allocate tasks to individuals in the band to do this and to do that, and it sort of happens, not obviously when we're writing music, it's we're all in the same room and we've seen that happen in front of our eyes, sort of thing. But
the music writing happens very organically.
Yeah.
So the rest of it, I mean, like we were saying, we delegate it out. So as individuals, we got to send emails and print CDs and so forth, but it's not doesn't define where the band's going as such.
Yeah, it might have been a drag to begin with when we first started. Kind of, now we have to contact all of these people, and that's not the music. That's not the actual music. But once you kind of just start doing it, and it becomes enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I've always found it enjoyable. It's sort of exciting, that side of things too, but we make time. It probably does distract sometimes, but we make clear times for the two. We say, okay, we're going to be working on music and we're talking about the music and all that. And then we say, okay, now we need to get to the other side of things and talk about media or, ideas for CD releases and all that sort of thing. So I think we've got a good balance at the moment.
So when you guys are writing a song, do you say, I'm going to write a heavy or an angry song, or does it just come out of jamming naturally?
Yeah, we are conscious a little bit sometimes of, more organically though, if we've got a song that's sounding already like maybe two other songs or something, we might say, only in that regard we might go, no, maybe we should work on a different sort of tune, but that doesn't mean that one gets shelved completely. It might come back later just to make it a bit more balanced. But generally though, no, we either myself or Wayne, the lead guitarist, will have a riff and we'll start that way, and then Locke will get inspired. He'll start screaming over it with his, and that'll further inspire us. We're like, yeah, that's taken it somewhere I didn't expect, but I'm loving it, and then as a band collectively we'll pretty much start putting the song together, and that's generally how it goes. Yeah, and it's only when we probably, like I said, feel like maybe we've got too many. It's more about tempo or something. We might go. It's not so much that we don't want to write another rock song or we need a ballad or something. It's more it's more about just the overall feel and what we think would help our repertoire as a whole.
We do pride ourselves on variety.
Yeah, we do like to do variety.
We're looking for familiar sounds, but with a new twist on them. That's really what's at the core of our very mutual songwriting, songsmithing efforts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an exciting. Like, songwriting is probably one of our strengths, particularly as a band. It's just, and I feel like in the process, it's an inspired thing. It's what's best for the song. It becomes less about ego and more about what am I feeling right now that's like it's going to contribute, it's going to make it that much more, let's kind of lift the song. It might start out, we might have an idea, okay, let's start a song like this. Let's kind of go, okay, we've done a few songs where Mark starts out. We were actually talking about this before. Mark starts the song. Let's try Wayne, our new guitarist. Let's get him starting the song this time.
And just from the variety's sake.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you're writing songs, would you say they're for just having fun, or is there a bit of a serious edge to songs in terms of lyrics?
I'd say a bit of both, I guess.
They have to be seriously fun.
Yeah. Some songs are definitely more serious, but there's got to be, maybe fun is definitely the word for a lot of the songs. But excitement, like a sense of like real inspiration, that has to be present. And if it isn't, then okay, well, we're not going to bother. It's just got to be musical. It's got to be exciting.
Yeah, and I said earlier, like the initial inspiration of the band at first was to just be this fun rock band, and so a lot of our songs did have a real kind of maybe a trivial kind of message in, but it's all about your perspective on it. But it was a message about just having a good time and rocking to the music. And since then, we've probably maybe things have become a little bit more serious with some of our messages and some of our songs. But I think that essence, that sort of core initial inspiration is always there, and so
Glad You Came is a good example of something that's sort of a fun idea, like Glad That You Came starts out, it's just this sexual relationship, but then it has like a, just for the fun of it, but then it does have a deeper context to it, like an open relationship or whatever you want to take from it. But there's depth in the playful, and there's play in the depth.
What do you think it is about rock music that attracts people to either listening to it or performing it?
Just
good grooves.
Yeah, energy and...
Yeah, I'm going with energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I get a real kick out of, the energy of a really good, tight rock song.
Yeah, and it's when it all comes together and, you just nail it and it just transpires across to the audience. It's got to have everything. It's a bit of everything. It's got to have a groove and a rock. That's why, our songs generally try to incorporate all those things, like a good riff, but then also a good melody to go with that.
Great vocals, great.
Yeah, it's got to have all the ingredients that make up a song, but I think it's just, it's just raw emotion, that draws you in. Locke, I think, can, get an audience to look up just in the sound check. Sometimes he just lets well on some massive scream, and just straight away, you can just see the reaction. Like they're just there's a buzz in the air.
There's a real intensity about what we're trying to get across. So although we are trying to be fun, we're trying to be intense as well.
Yeah, and then you picked up on that fun aspect. I think that's what draws people to it. It's a chance to, get away from the seriousness of life and just literally let your hair down and go for it, sort of thing. Well, if you got hair, that is.
Yeah, those were the days.
When did music first come into your life, and what was the band that inspired you to try to make music yourself?
Well, that was Soundgarden for me, Lachlan. Seeing Black Hole Sun appear on those video hits, it was just so out of step with the usual pop crap. And just wailing vocals with this dark intensity and a erratic guitar solo. Just pure expression. Without a need for like attention in a sense, without a need to fulfill a mainstream desire. It was just, we're going to play what we're going to play, and anything goes in a way. And what goes best is what's really true to the individual expression. Soundgarden.
Yeah. Yeah, I was probably, I've always been a creative type. Like I was always sort of, I used to do a lot of art and stuff when I was a kid. Like I used to just draw and stuff. So I think I've always had some sort of creative streak in me and needed an outlet for it. And it just, once I discovered music, I suppose really the change for me and probably for a lot of people was when the Metallica Black Album came out. I was listening to bands like Roxette and stuff before that. And then a mate was playing me. It was the Black Album and Motley Crue's Decade of Decadence. And it was just on in the background. I never really paid attention to it too much at first, but eventually I realised I was really getting into it. And Guns N' Roses were big at the time as well. So they've definitely got a bit of a responsibility for it. And then But then, I was like, I'm into this music. I think I'm into heavy metal. It was sort of like this crazy revelation for me, or rock, I suppose. It wasn't necessarily heavy metal, but and that from that realization, I just started. That was it. That was the beginning. It was just like buying albums non-stop and just wanting more. This thirst for rock music, and then as soon as that sense of discovery started, I also had that. I've always had a creative streak. Like if I see a good movie, I feel like maybe I want to make a good movie. I'm kind of competitive that way. So straight away, I'm like, I want to make music. I want to do what these guys are doing. So that was it for me.
Yeah, and I wasn't too dissimilar. But I definitely fell for heavy metal straight away, and probably the band that got me picking up a guitar and playing a riff was Slayer. Yeah. And the Rain and Blood album, just trying to replicate those twisted harmonies that they had going and the speed of it, and just everything about that. That was probably the most important album from a musical point of view for getting me playing in the first place.
Okay. Did you figure out how to play it?
Adequately. That's why I play bass. I started out on guitar, but I worked out pretty quickly that bass was something that people needed, and I also started listening to a bit more, a bit broader. Stylistically, and worked out that I actually like bass across many styles. I ended up following bass as the instrument of choice.
So what's next for Moonshifter? You guys plan to go overseas at all?
Love to.
Yeah, it's definitely something in our minds. It's probably, I don't know if it's our first. It's not if it's a next step so much. So we recorded a single last year, Glad That You Came, which we're really happy with, and we've got plans to record a couple more in the next month or two, or at least another one. The focus now is really just gigging locally and possibly, within, when I say locally, in this state, I suppose, and get some more recordings out to the people so they can hear more about what we're all about.
Maybe build a bit more here in Australia first.
But we are talking about maybe the move to Europe is what a lot of bands are doing these days, and it seems the scenes you hear a lot of things at the scenes a lot stronger over there, for maybe up and coming bands. So
even maybe India or Southeast Asia.
Yeah, get exotic, why not?
It's all growing.
South America.
But we still feel maybe it's just a bit premature at the moment, and we just want to try to get a bit more. Get another single out and get a bit more of a groundswell in Melbourne, and get
good word for it,
and go from there. Yeah.
That's it. Are you guys aiming for another EP or just sticking to single releases?
The moment single. Yeah, we have a few songs in the works, and they're songs that we've had for a while. They're still developing, and as they always do, like if we want them to. And so for the moment, probably do a single very soon. In the next couple of months, do a similar release to Glad You Came, but we'd definitely like to have like a full production EP, maybe an album, but at this stage, no.
Yeah, we've got enough songs to do an EP or an album even, really, but we're still writing and we're getting more and more excited by the new ones. We've got a new one, our most recently finished song we're very excited about. It's a little bit different. So I guess that's the only thing that's stopping a full EP or album, because we're not really sure exactly what it's going to be yet. But we're definitely all very keen to get something like that out there. So
new song, just do a shameless plug, is it's called You Feel It, and we're playing it live at the Elephant and Wheelbarrow.
Okay.
Yes.
29th of this month, in January, in St Kilda.